We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the rookie from Arizona State, it's Kalen Ballage. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
That's what I'm talking about. Flex round! Flex round! Mike 50. Ohio! Ohio!
Here's the now 30-year-old running back, LaShawn McCoy. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Hey! We got 4.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Now Dobbs. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Chris Jones on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. Down to the 25. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with the coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Now Roethlisberger for the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
Under 10.
They'll run here with Balaj. Oh, able to avoid him. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Your trip is here.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him at just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. They'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their history. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Flex round! Flex round!
Dobbs now on second down. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Mark Ingram there. And it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90! Ohio! Ohio!
On play action, it's Dobbs. Lets it go for Nelson. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. After the penalty, it's McCoy. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On second down, Ingram bulldozes past him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter.
Flex round! Flex round!
Dobbs. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Balaj. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
On 1st and 10, Dobbs. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw Dobbs. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Ohio! Ohio! Hut! Hut!
Out of the gun, Dobbs. He's going to let this one go deep. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And the man to bring him down was Cyrus Jones.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to have a 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. David Irving, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep to return it is Lucky Whitehead. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded just inside the 30. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, 49ers. In for the score. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a 1st down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To throw is Dobbs. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Chris Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19.
Come on, let's go!
Now Dobbs. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 1:57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Here's Roethlisberger. Now they go screen. It's complete. They find some open field here. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They give them a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
That grounding call could very well doom this drive. We'll see. They'll try again here, 3rd and goal. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Now I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Flex round! Ohio!
On 2nd down, Dobbs. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Now, the 49ers going to take another timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
Black 20.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action with Roethlisberger. Going deep here for Bryant. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, 49ers. Martavis Bryant as the first half is winding down. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. Oh, he bowls over it. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing here, Dobbs. Flush to his right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Flex round! Flex round!
Here's Dobbs to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Larry Ogunjobi coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
got the lead. Yeah.
We've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run it with Balaj. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Balaj. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Jack 16. Black,
And they'll run it here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Dobbs is throwing. Eluding the pressure right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. They'll start with a give here to Balaj. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, 49ers. Stephon Diggs. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready. Ready to go as they take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Dobbs to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Double tight. 3 down. Mike 57.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Start! Blue 30. 4 down. Focus. Undercrush.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
Ohio!
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 28 and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
Watch tight end. Tight right.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Funches has it complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Red 38.
Now Dobbs. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Dobbs now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six, we'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. You were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
That one goes for 24 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 46. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again, it's Balaj. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure over their own offense.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Niners on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach knows he's going to...
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Kaiser White. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So the penalty not quite enough to get them the first as they'll come up here on 3rd and inches. They'll stay on the ground. Balash again. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people.
And that's caught inside the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field.
White, 90.
On 1st down, Downs to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Flex round. Flex round. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down.
Dobbs. And he whips that one incomplete there. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is Nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on third down tonight, it has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches.
Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Quick, double.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Here we go. Let's go. 3 down.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Niners, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win.
You